bit, but first, my guest right now this morning is going to help all of us level up our lives. Liz Moody is the author of the new self-help book, 100 Ways to Change Your Life, The Science of Leveling Up Health, Happiness, Relationships, and Success. Liz has an event at Elliott Bay Book Company tonight, but first, she's on the couch with me. Help us change our ways.
Oh, I would be happy to.
Okay, so let's first talk about, it's something that we all want to do, improve our lives, right? But it's easier said than done. So what made you want to write this book?
I wanted to give people real tools that were grounded in science, that were fun, that made changing your life an enjoyable experience. I was really sick of self-help books that were like, you can do it, I believe in you.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how? What do I specifically do? So I was looking for that, and I was also looking for something that wouldn't make my life worse in the process of making my life better.
Okay, thank you, yes. All those things are things I've experienced while reading self-help books. So let's go through some of the chapters in the book. Let's get into the meat of it so you can share your thoughts with our viewers. So first of all, how to stick to habits and achieve your goals. Why is that important to leveling up your life, and how do you do it?
So habits and goals are sort of the foundation of what we build our life upon. So a huge thing for me is recognizing what habits and goals you want to include in your life. So I have a tip in the book. I have the first 3 tips in the book are the most important. I want everybody to read them. Okay. And then we have 18 categories that cover every different part of your life. But one of the very first tips in the book is to find your why. And that is to know a reason behind why you are incorporating every single thing that you are incorporating from the book, from anywhere else, from any habit expert, anybody teaching you anything. If you're going to spend your time or your money on something, I want you to know what your desired outcome is and how you measure that result.
Other than 'cause kids? I guess that's not going to...
That's an outcome. If you say this is how my kids are fitting into my life, and I want to have a little bit more time for myself. I want to have the time that I spend with my kids be quality time. I want to be able to structure my day in a way that feels a little bit better for me. Those are all great whys.
So once you get to the why, that's actually really important too.
Yeah.
There's a road as well. Okay, so how do you love yourself and be happier?
Okay, so I think that one of the secrets to self-love that we do not talk about is self-trust. If you're looking in the mirror and you're saying, I love you, I think you're great, but you haven't built a foundation of self-trust, you're not going to believe what you're saying. Self-trust is built by keeping promises to ourselves. So if you say to yourself, I'm not going to reach for my phone first thing in the morning. Yeah. I know that doesn't make me feel good. But every day you roll over, you reach for your phone, you're scrolling Instagram before your brain's even turned on. That is a tiny broken promise to yourself. If you say, I'm going to work out today, and then you don't do your workout that day, that is a tiny broken promise to yourself. And all those tiny broken promises to yourself add up to your brain saying, I can't trust this person. Why should I believe this person when this person says that they love me?
So true. I feel like she was looking right at me with that workout comment. I do. I need to get, today is the day.
Well, I will say to that point, I think a lot of us set the bar really high for ourselves.
Yeah.
If you can't make it to the gym every day to do an hour workout, drive 15 minutes each way, try to find parking, try to fit this into your life, can you do a 10-minute home workout? Can you go for a walk around the block? Set the bar lower and lower and lower until you can keep that promise to yourself consistently and then build up from there. I
found that has been very effective with my 5-minute bar exercise, which is probably not very helpful, but hey, I'm doing it anyway.
It is. There's micro workouts are one of the most effective things. I have a tip in the book that says if I had to choose between a longer workout and sprinkling micro workouts throughout my day, I would choose my micro workouts. And that can be a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes sprinkled throughout your day. You're breaking the sedentariness that fills our days. You're helping regulate your blood sugar. You're helping regulate your cortisol levels. You're helping with your mental health. You're helping with your creativity.
So important.
So important.
All right, so how to make and keep friends. That's a hard one we talk about a lot here in Seattle.
And I think that loneliness is something that so many of us experience, but we have so much shame around sharing that. So first of all, I want to say to anybody who is working on making new friends, who feels a little bit lonely, you are 100% not alone. So many of us struggle with that, myself included.
At every age, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just, I'm 22 and I came to a new city. It's, I'm 65 and, my friend group is changing.
Well, and I think that we're always looking for people who are going to reflect our present self back at us, which is why even if you have friends from childhood, friends from college, you're looking for people who are going to reflect you in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you at the present moment back to you, which is why I'm like, nobody has their friend group set. There's always people out there available for you. But one of my favorite tips for making new friends is from Dr. Marissa G. Franco. She's a friendship expert, a friendship psychologist. And there's really interesting research behind the fact that we like people the more that we see them. We don't need to have a conversation with them. We don't need to know anything about them. Simply seeing their face over and over and over makes us like them more. They've done incredible research on this. So one of my favorite tips for making new friends is just to put yourself in the same place in a recurring way. So go to
But not in a creepy way.
Not in a creepy way, no, but like if you want to do a yoga class, go to the same workout class, the same yoga class every Tuesday. If you're gonna go do your work in a cafe, go to the same cafe. Literally, that familiarity is going to make people like you more, even if they don't know why.
That is such a great idea, and then you're going to start seeing the same people. I wish I'd known that many years ago when I was traveling around with this job. That's a great advice.
Well, and one of the things that I really love about it too is it gives us permission to, when we go to parties, sometimes we're like, oh, I didn't like vibe with that person, or you go to a book club and you're like, I don't know if I like them because you didn't have that like instant friend connection. And that's not the way that our brains work. Our brains need that repeated exposure over and over and over again. So it gives you a little bit more permission to say, I'll hang out with them another time and another time, and maybe then I'll like them a little bit more.
It's so true. There was a person in my book club I was not sure about, and now she's one of my favorite human beings in the world. So there you have it.
Repeated exposure.
How to make better decisions.
Yeah, I love, so there's a lot of tools for making better decisions in the book, but one of my favorites is cognitive offloading. So that essentially means taking everything out of your brain that's cluttering it that you possibly can, and then making your brain free for the greater decisions in your life. So that can be like, I have a Notion. Do you know the app Notion?
No, but I will after this interview.
Okay, Notion's a fabulous tool. It's free, but you can also use your notes app, anything like that. I have my grocery list. I have future podcast episodes that I want to do. I have books that I want to read. I have everything on my to-do list. Any single thought that you have that you think to yourself, I'm sure I'll remember that later. Like, absolutely.
Just put that down?
Put that down. Free up your brain for bigger decisions. Another decision-making tip that I absolutely love that I want to share is to practice on the smaller decisions. So if you're at a restaurant and you're looking at the menu and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I should get. Like, should I get the sandwich? Should I get the salad? And you're stressing over that, just go with your gut. Give yourself 10 minutes to research yoga pants and then buy the first one that like really catches your eye. By practicing in those moments of smaller decisions, when you have the bigger decisions, should I get back with my ex? Should I move states? Should I apply for this job? You're gonna have the practice, you have built up that muscle.
I have so many more questions, and we're out of time, and I want to ask for more time, but we're out of time. I have really enjoyed this conversation. I cannot wait. This is my book now. I didn't know if you were thinking of taking it, because I'm keeping it.
And there's so much more in there.
I can't wait. Go read the book. And just a reminder again, Liz is holding an author event tonight, Wednesday, November 15th at 7 p.m. at the Elliott Bay Book Company on Seattle's Capitol Hill. Go change your